What's up, YouTube? Just got back from a gruesome ride down to Sarasota, Florida, then Orange Beach, Alabama, and then back to Bowling Green, Kentucky, about an hour north of Nashville. Took that ride on the T120, and unfortunately I developed a really awful low-speed wobble in the bike on the trip. I'm not really sure what caused it. I will say this is like the first time I've had any real weight on the bike because, as you know, I recently installed the metal mule panniers and I had it loaded up with like my camping gear, my clothes, etc. And man, like every time you would let off the bars around 40-ish miles an hour, that thing was just shaking and baking. It was just an awful, awful feeling.
Shake and then wait, shake and bake.
Anyways, as soon as I got back, I took the bike to the shop and I got a new set of tires put on the bike. The mechanics seemed to think that the rims are true, that maybe I just hit something nasty and it warped the tires. I've switched to a set of Michelin Actives. Cue short video of the tires on the T120. So I hope these tires work out really well. Obviously, I've not put enough miles on them to know. They do seem to have a pretty good feel on them, and I've heard many people talk about Pilot Actives being great tires for the Twins or the Bonneville lineup anyways. But I'm curious, leave your suggestion for good tires in the comments below. So when I took off, I had maybe 700 miles on the bike, and on return I've got like 2,600. Sucks to lose a new set of tires. The Pirellis that come with the T120 were great. Despite the wobbliness. Hopefully that's the issue and not the rims. In spite of the wobble, the bike actually did extremely well. As you can imagine, bumping up from the 865 air-cooled scrambler with 5 gears and lower gear ratios to the T120, man, huge difference. This bike did great on back roads, and on the interstate when we had to take it, it was, well, about as good as you could expect a naked bike to do on interstate roads. In other words, windy. Especially since I have just this little tiny fly screen on the front. On the trip, there were two things that really struck me. One was how much I missed cruise control from the Tiger Explorer. And man, I really missed it. That many miles in that short a time puts quite a bit of strain on your wrist. To that end, I've actually picked up an OEM Cruise Control unit for the T120 from a dealership. You may not know, but that unit is like $340. $340 for OEM Cruise Control, and it's a bolt-on accessory, or at least I think it is. We're gonna get that installed here pretty soon, and I'm excited to see if that works without actually having to reset or add that functionality into the ECU. Hopefully it literally is just bolt-on. That would be fantastic. The other thing that really kicked my ass, and if you've been on YouTube, you've probably seen other Bonneville T120 owners talk about this, is the damn throttle. Now, what is the issue with the throttle, you might ask? It doesn't work very well. For the most part, it's smooth as butter, but when you're in second or third gear, sometimes first, and you're in that 3,000 to 4,000 RPM range, on occasion, it gets really snatchy. And that's particularly annoying when you're doing a low-speed maneuver, maybe a sharp turn, mucking around in a parking lot, trying to come to a stop. It's frustrating and actually a little dangerous. Now, you know I've already installed the cross pipe from Tech Bike Parts.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Hey folks, just wanted to check in with a quick cell phone video today. As you can see, I'm doing some major wrenching on the T120, and if you saw my previous video, you saw that I picked up a cross pipe from Tech Bike Parts, and I'm installing that today. Many users have reported that that sort of resolves that low-end snatchiness from the T120 throttle. I can't say it's really worked for mine, and to that end, I might have a solution. So let's check it out. So like I've said, I've already done a cat delete on my T120, and I'm still getting that snatchiness around the 3,000 to 4,000 RPM range. I did a little bit of research online, and through another YouTuber based across the pond, ding, I found this. Now, some of you probably know about this, but this is kind of a new device to me, and this is a booster plug. And what this little device does is it actually bypasses the air temperature sensor on the ECU and tricks the ECU into thinking that the air temperature is actually a few degrees cooler than it actually is. So the ECU responds by enriching the fuel ratio, and thus you get better fueling out of the bike. This is something that's very similar to a power commander, which I had heard of in the past, but as you know, power commanders are expensive. And from what I understand, you actually have to have them tuned for your particular bike. Now this solution's quite a bit cheaper. I think this is about $150 shipped. The other part of this is that it's actually really easy to install. I've seen YouTube videos on the installation for this. It takes literally 5-6 minutes tops. So I'm hoping this will help alleviate the snatchiness that I have in the T120. Let's get this thing cracked open and see what we're dealing with here. I don't expect it to be much. And here it is. So this is kind of cool. We've got some customer feedback, just what people have said that their experience was with the product. And then here's the actual product here. And you can see it literally is just plug and play. One end of this plugs into the temperature sensor for the airbox, and then the other end would plug into the wire that would plug into that. And then you have this little snorkel deal right here. And this is what this unit uses to actually sensor the air temperature and then give a reading to the ECU. This is the original multifunctional seamless wear like do-rag thing. Not going to use that. Looks like we have some coupon codes for free ebooks. That's not happening. Stickers. All right. We've got the little guy peeing on the Power Commander logo. More stickers. And installation. I mean, you know, hey, this is great. We've got a key fob. You never know. I mean, these could come in handy, I guess. Obviously, we're a little bit more interested in this and this right here. Although, like I said, I've seen YouTube videos for the installation of this, and it's super easy. While I've got the camera on the bench, I wanted to go ahead and show you the Triumph OEM Cruise Control unit that I purchased. I said this is about $340. And as you can see, it's an entire housing. This replaces the entire control unit on the clutch side of the bike. We've got all of our various buttons, etc., except that we now have a cruise control button. And all the wiring is in place, etc. We literally just unbolt these, replace the unit that's on there now, and hopefully it works. Tiny Triumph Shop.
Tiny Triumph Shop.
La 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 la. It's not gonna make the outtakes. What's up, YouTube?